Sometimes, even if celebrities try to ignore fans, speculations, or rumors, and handle the pressure from public, it still doesn't change the fact that it affects them in one way or the other, because they are still human. Alright, now, Sonia is supposedly jumping into all this epic action drama roles now, right? And people are saying it's to shake off the whole Maurice shipping situation. But here's the thing, even if that's true, is it really worth it? Like, is she trying to prove she's more than just the other half of Samuchi? Because honestly, that energy alone tells me the shipping got under her skin more than anyone wants to admit. I mean, think about it. If you're completely unbothered by what fans are saying, why would you suddenly switch up your entire career direction? It just doesn't add up to me. And the thing is, these epic roles are great and all, but they're also a huge risk. What if people don't connect with her in these new characters the same way they did before? Then what? She would have distanced herself from Maurice for nothing, and that's a gamble I'm not sure is worth taking right. Now this is where it gets interesting. Apparently Sonia and Maurice sat down like actual adults and decided to stop filming together for a bit. They wanted to show the industry that they're not just a package deal, that their individual brands can stand strong on their own. And I'm thinking, wow, that's actually mature if it's true. But then again, this completely contradicts those messy rumors about Pearl being the reason they stopped working together. So which story are we believing here? Because just a few months ago, everyone was convinced Pearl had something to do with this whole separation. Now suddenly it's a mutual decision. The timeline is confusing me, honestly. Like, did they have this conversation before or after the Pearl rumors started flying around? And if it was always their plan, why didn't anyone shut down those Pearl rumors immediately? Something about this whole thing just feels like we're not getting the complete picture, Here's what I'm trying to figure out. They supposedly agreed to a 6-month break to let the shipping madness cool down. But when I actually sat down and counted, they've been in other productions during that time anyway. So was this break even a real thing? Or is this just another narrative people are spinning because the truth is way less dramatic than we want it to be? I went through their filmographies, and yeah, they've both been busy with other projects. So the break isn't really a break from work. It's just a break from each other, which I guess makes sense if the goal is to establish individual identities. But at the same time, if they're both still working non-stop, just not together, then how much is really changing? The fans still see them, just separately now. And honestly, I'm starting to think this whole 6-month timeline might just be something someone made up to give the story structure, because nothing about it lines up properly when you actually check. Can we talk about the fans for a second? Because they are out here editing old behind-the-scenes clips and making them look fresh like it happened yesterday. Sonia and Maurice barely have any recent moments together, so fans are literally creating content from archives just to keep Sam Uche alive. I mean, the dedication is wild, but also it's kind of sad. Like, let them breathe, maybe. I saw one edit the other day that had footage from 2 years ago, but the way it was edited with current music and effects, you'd think it was from last week. And people in the comments were eating it up, talking about I miss them so much and bring back Sam Uche, like this was recent content. It's actually genius in a way how creative these fans are, but it's also a little bit desperate, no? Like, the well has run dry, so now we're recycling old water and pretending it's fresh. At what point do we just accept that this chapter might be? And then there's this whole thing where fans are commenting, we won't watch anything else until Sam Uche returns under every new movie release. Now, I know fans exaggerate, it's what they do this ball, especially when it comes to Sonia and Maurice. But imagine being a producer seeing that. Are you thinking, wow, loyal fan base? Or are you thinking, these people are holding my actors hostage? Because if I'm a producer who just worked with Sonia on this new epic action film, and all the comments are about Maurice and how people won't watch until they're back together, I'd be frustrated. Like here I am trying to showcase her in a different light, give her a new challenge, and the audience is basically saying they don't care. That's got to hurt, right? And it's put Sonia in this weird position where her new work isn't even being judged on its own merit. Everything is being compared to what she did with Maurice, which is exactly what she's supposedly trying to escape from in the first place. What really gets me though is if Sonia is genuinely trying to distance herself from the shipping drama by taking on this bigger, more serious roles. Isn't that kind of proving the shippers, right? Like you're changing your whole career trajectory because of fan speculation. That feels like giving them way too much power, if you ask me. I mean, think about the message it sends. By switching to epic and action drama roles, specifically to get away from the romance and shipping, she's basically admitting that the shipping affected her career decisions. And once fans realize they have that kind of influence, they're never going to let it go. They'll know that their comments, their edits, their hashtags actually matter and actually change things. So in a weird way, trying to escape the shipping might just make it stronger because now fans know they got under her skin. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy or something. The more you run from it, the more power you give it. Let's be real for a moment. The fact that this mature conversation narrative even exists means someone wanted it out there. Whether it's their teams doing damage control or just industry gossip, somebody is pushing the story. And I'm wondering, why now? What changed that suddenly we need to know they had a sit down about their working relationship? Like this information didn't leak by accident. Someone deliberately shared this detail about them having a mature professional conversation. So what's the goal here? Is it to make them both look good, like they're in control of their careers? Is it to shut down the Pearl rumors once and for all? Or is it to prepare fans for the possibility that Uche might never happen again? Because timing is everything in this industry. And the fact that this story is coming out now, when they are both working on separate projects, feels intentional. Someone is trying to shape the narrative, and I want to know who and why. The Pearl angle is still confusing me because those rumors were everywhere not too long ago. People were fully convinced she had something to do with Sonia and Maurice not working together anymore. But now we're supposed to believe it was actually their own decision, made in some peaceful, professional meeting. The stories don't match up, and somebody's not telling the truth. I remember when those Pearl rumors first started, the internet went crazy. People were analyzing every interview, every social media post, looking for clues, and there was enough smoke there that it felt like maybe there was fire, you know. But now, with this new narrative about the mature conversation, it's like we're supposed to just forget all of that and accept this cleaner, simpler version of events. But I don't know if I'm buying it. Maybe both things are true. Maybe Pearl was an issue, and they also decided to take a break. Or maybe neither is true, and we're all just believing whatever story sounds best. Here's my honest take. If they really did stop working together to prove they can stand alone, I respect that business move. But the timing feels off. The shipping was at its peak. Their projects together were doing numbers. And suddenly does stop. Either they're playing 4D chess with their careers, or there's more to the story that we're not getting. Because from a business perspective, you don't usually walk away from something that's working unless there's a really good reason. And proving we can stand alone is a reason, sure, but is it a good enough reason to risk your box office appeal? Sonia Uche was a brand in itself, and brands like that don't come around often. So splitting up right when that brand is at its strongest seems counterintuitive unless there's pressure coming from somewhere else. Maybe it's pressure from the industry, maybe it's personal pressure, maybe something we don't even know about yet. But something made them walk away from success, and I don't think it's as simple as wanting to prove themselves. Bottom line is this: whether Sonia's moving into epic roles to rebrand herself, or whether she and Maurice are taking a strategic break, the fans aren't letting go that easily. They're editing old videos, boycotting new releases, and basically refusing to move on. So even if this whole plan was to let the shipping die down, it's not working. If anything, the separation is making people want Sonia Uche even more. Sometimes, distance really does make the heart grow fonder, I guess. And that's the irony of this whole situation. The thought taking a break would cool things down, but it's actually heated things up. Fans are more obsessed now than ever because now there's mystery, there's longing, there's this whole forbidden love vibe, even though we're talking about actors and professional partnerships. The strategy backfired, in my opinion. And now both Sonia and Maurice are stuck in this weird place where they can't move forward because everyone's looking backward, waiting for them to reunite. So what happens next? Do they give the people what they want, or do they stick to their guns and keep going separate ways? Either way, someone's going to be disappointed. So guys, that's the gist for now. Thanks for listening, and bye.